Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Olympus Orb Pendant. This is the 13-1602. Let's get into details. So this is let's talk about the fixture itself, the body, before we talk about these stems. 31.1 inches high and 31 inches in diameter. It is truly an orb. It's round. When we get into overall heights, we have a range, or Hubbardton has a range. 34.7 all the way to 79.7. So this also ships with 97 inches of wire, which means that if you want to go a little beyond that 79 inches, it's almost 80 at the end of the day. We do sell additional kits like this that you can get, and they're going to have a 3 12s, 1 6, 1 3 included. If you need to go well beyond what we talked about a second ago, then you want to drop me a quick email and say you're looking at the 13-1602 and you need it to be X long, and that X long could be 96 inches, it could be 140 inches. You just have to tell me what you're doing. I'm going to take your email, send it through Hubbardton Forge's customs department, where it's going to come back and we can accommodate your needs. Adds a little time and money, but we do customs every day. So that range of overall heights from the ceiling coming down is going to be listed in a chart that's going to be down there in the corner. It's going to show you what combination of which of these rods you're going to use to get to those targeted overall heights. Okay, and like I said before, what you're going to be getting to begin with this fixture is going to be 3 of the 12s, 1 of the 6, and 1 of the 3, and then you use them in combinations to get that done. That said, I also want to show you the installations instructions. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen, midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. It is going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you the socket setup. It's going to show you how you put this together, which is very simple. You're going to be putting this on a nice fluffy towel, and you're going to be snaking those wires through these pipes one by one. So you're going to go from the fixture to a connector, and this is a connector. Okay. Connector has threading on the ends, pipes have threading on the inside, and you're going to go through them one by one. So through this, through a pipe, through this, through a pipe, and then finally you're going to get up to the canopy up on the ceiling, and then you're done. So, and then you put it all together, and while you're doing that, you're just going to do this. So it goes together like that, screw it together, a nice clean look. You can barely even tell that there's a seam there. Canopy up in the ceiling is a 5-inch round dome. And it's slope ceiling adaptable to 45 degrees already. You don't have to do anything to it. It goes like that. And this is like a knuckle, kind of like your finger. So it's built into the top. You don't have to do anything, like I said. Coming in at 27 pounds. 27 pounds is going to be hanging from your 4-inch junction box. There's no weight restriction on this, which is awesome. The glass on this is Hubbardton Forge's opal glass, so that's an opaque white glass. I'll talk about that later in the video in more detail. Let's get into socket on this, or sockets. So you're going to be using 6 of these G9 sockets, and G9 sockets take G9 bulbs, and they have little prongs on the end. They just push right in, just like that. You can do halogens if you want to. You're going to be limited to 6 40-watt halogens, and you know, all in all, everyone likes LEDs, but halogens have their place too, and they dim beautifully. So I wouldn't rule out using halogens in this to begin with. If you guys want to go LED, you can. There's tons of LEDs out in the marketplace. I talk about them all the time, and I've got a bunch of them here. Here's some of our samples. So LEDs, okay, so that's a phosphorus LED that has the long strip in that. That's that orange. Sometimes there are lines. The other ones I have, like these, are basically cob LEDs, and cob LEDs look like corn cobs. So they have all kind of multi-facets. They also have the facets on the end of them, and they have little metal prongs coming up as opposed to wires. There's no limit when you get into those. Most of those are going to be a 40-watt to a 60-watt equivalent. I think this big guy is a 75-watt equivalent, but it's only, the 40 watts only use 4 watts of electricity. So, you know, you've got 6 of these. So that's only, you know, that's almost nothing as far as, you know, getting a ton of light out of a fixture and having it use very little electricity. These are also dimmable bulbs, and I picked these up on Amazon. So just, you know, when you go into Amazon, put into the search G9 LEDs, and they're going to pop up, and you'll be able to check them all out. It's very important to note a couple things. Make sure they're dimmable. That's going to be a big deal. It's also the color of the light you're going to really want to zero in on. 2700 Kelvin, that's going to be 2700 K. That's going to be super yellow light, like a setting sun. there's something that you're going to see on that page. It's going to be offered in daylight. Daylight's a cold hospital waiting room light. That's not a warm light. That's going to be 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale. You're also going to see on that page on Amazon is going to be offered warm white, and warm white is what we use in our showroom. It's a nice incandescent looking light. It's a warm white, and it's 3,000 Kelvin, and it's basically what's coming down on my hands. This is the light that's coming from these LEDs. These are 3,000 Kelvin LEDs, and we generally use them all over our showroom. But like I said before in a lot of other videos, if you're going to be using the halogens, you can just use a regular dimmer. Make sure it's rated for up to the 6 times 40 wattage, 240 watts. On the other side, if you guys want to use an LED, lots of these LEDs, and remember there's 6, they barely do anything, but you have to get the correct dimmer for them, so make sure you tell your installer about that. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's opal glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the end. You can see them on these 2 pieces. And it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really, really pretty. You know, they're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variance on there in that video. So it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton Forge fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same, and so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton Forge stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with. Measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes. Widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables, islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads lying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff, for clearance stuff, are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. It'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case, so always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.